Good morning. Good morning. We greet you in the precious name of our Lord and Savior Jesus, who is the Christ, who is the reason I'm here today. And I want to thank, by a round of applause, Representative Potter for having the courage to take this down. Senator Henry for standing by his side, State Rep J.J. Johnson. I see multiple folks here, Pastor and President of Newcastle County, Christopher Bullock, also the county executives here. And the reason I say that is because these are folks who have been on the cutting edge. They did not just start this. There was a guy who remained nameless, and this guy was a two-time felon, two-time headed toward the habitual, and he was a drug addict. He stole someone's coat because he was cold, and he didn't steal it for drugs. He was cold, but because of the offense, right, and the cost of the coat, this man is now serving life in prison. I said, hello? Life in prison behind a coat for a person who's cold and drug addicted? It just didn't make sense to me. When I go over to Howard R. Young prison, and I talk with Phil Morgan, and I talk with Ann, who does a wonderful job, and I walk through and I look at the folks that are there in what we call the detentionist population. 97% of the folks that are there because they either sold drugs or did drugs. 90-some% of them are coming back home. We don't get them treatment before they get there, when they get there, and we don't set it up so that they can get treatment at home and they won't return there. This has got to stop. Thank you for this act. Thank you for this act. Thank the governor for doing what we encouraged them to do. But it's not enough. When you talk about the IADAT program and you talk about how the 5 cabinet secretaries came together, listen to this. We know that if a person comes out of prison, right, and they actually have a place to live within a 48-hour window, right, the chances are they don't recidivate, because they got a safe place. They have connected with some faith-based institutions or some spiritual centers, so they don't go back. How come we're not looking at institutions in the community that become, Marion Ellen Wright said, we need safe houses that folks can go to and grow to, so that the thinking is changed and the behaviors ultimately change. In my opinion, and I'm not a rocket scientist. I got 30 seconds and I'm gone, I promise. In my opinion, when the cabinet secretary sat down and found out that folks who had a drug record, right, coming from prison, could not live in public housing with their own family member, right, they should have moved immediately. Because they were talking. The housing secretary was talking with DHS, Rita Lansgraf, and those folks were talking to some other folks. But the piece they missed, and thank God, I think we got a permission to do that now in some cases, but they're not looking at the economic piece. How do we link with the Department of Labor to get them some training and get them some income, because there's no income in the community that supports them. Am I making sense here? Yes. Yeah. It worked for me. It's the last testimony. Pastor Bullock heard about me. The Lord delivered me 23 years ago. The help of Miss Betsy over there, the deacon. They saw me out there. They saw me come off drugs. They saw me put down the coke, put down the smokes. They saw me with some other stuff, but they trusted me. 8th Street Baptist deployed me back into the streets and said, you do the outreach. Now, all of a sudden, there's responsibility and accountability. But there's a support network like unmatched. Why is it so hard to get that done? Inside the prison. It's not hard. I love you all. If you need me.